In this video, we're going to do an analogous warm sphere. So the colors that you're going to need from your Prisma 12 set are going to be dark brown and red. We're not going to use an orange. We're going to use the yellow that comes with the 12 set. And we're going to use an indigo to darken our neutrals in the base coat and the core shadow. So hopefully you already have a little sphere drawn. The dark brown. Very quickly draw my shadow, cast shadow ellipse. Sharpen your pencils. Always sharpen before you get started. You don't want to start with dull pencils. This one is a little on the dull side. It's already giving me a little bit of trouble. Cast shadow fades out the further that it goes away from the object. Darkest right where it's touching the object. Again with my neutral base coat with the dark brown. Very carefully. I like to start at 6 o'clock and I like to keep this moon crescent shape really the highlight. So our highlight's going to be between 1 and 3 o'clock. Light coming from this direction. Between 6 and 8, I'll thicken up the shadow, head into the mid-tone, try and get rid of any white outlines unless you used a darker pencil for your shadow. I'm not pressing very hard, this is very light layers being added. Just like you would shade a graphite sphere. I like to burnish in little tiny circles. Not sure if I like it. Oh no. I want to dull the intensity of the warm colors so that they're a little bit. We're keeping this round circular sphere shape or form. A little thin layer towards the highlight, super delicate, take it all the way up. Now I'm probably going to add a little bit more brown, but I'm going to start with my indigo just in the darkest portions of the core shadow. Pencils need to be really sharp. If your pencils are not sharp, your sphere could come out looking lumpy. Okay, so these are our neutral base tones. We use indigo as a neutral instead of black. That's what I did on this particular sphere. I like to play around with this technique. Several different attempts doing different things, this being the first one, second one, third one. This one I kind of like, a little bit bright at the bottom for reflective light. But let's just give it a try, the best try, and see what, or we can experiment and do different things and see what we like the most. More indigo than normal going up. Not too much, just really thin. So again, we're only using red and yellow. Our blend will create an orange naturally for the midtone. So starting in the core shadow, and we're thicker between 6 and 8. You can do larger circles. Sometimes in the darker areas, if I do smaller circles, it's more dense, more opaque. And then larger circles for less opacity. Just very softly blending. Highlight. Make sure our transitions are consistent. This looks a little sharp right there. I can begin to add in my yellow to make it analogous. Right now it's very monochromatic. If you're doing a monochromatic red sphere, finish. Make sure my yellow is nice and sharp. And towards the shadow. Okay. Too orange. We do want it to be kind of reddish in this core, maybe a little red orange as it fades into the mid-tone. And then it can orange, and then to yellow orange, and then let's see if any yellow brightest zone, maybe just a little, looks a little brighter in there. I was seeing a little bit off. Basically it for creating an analogous warm color here. Touch up your colors, you can. I have to take my magnifying glass and especially the edges. Crazy there. Let's see if we can take that part off. Back in. Fuzzy on the edge there, but it's okay. All right, I'm going to stop at that point. And that is it for warm color spheres.